Well, thank you and good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished members of this great body, it truly is an honor to speak to you today in the historic capital of what has become America's fastest growing state. Before I begin, please allow me a moment to introduce members of the American Legion family who are with me here today. First, we have with us the commander of the South Carolina American Legion, Jim Raybon of Camden. National Executive Committeeman for the Department of South Carolina, Jim Hawk of Irmo. We have Cecil Phillips, the alternate National Executive Committeeman from Rock Hill. We have with us the Department Adjutant for the state of South Carolina, Robert Renner. We have the American Legion Auxiliary, Department of South Carolina President Beth Bryant of Greer. We have the Sons of the American Legion South Carolina Detachment Commander Tom Carews of Little River. And with me today is also my good friend and the National Commander's aide. He's working hard in the back of the room taking pictures from Kansas, also Doug Hensley. Ladies and gentlemen, South Carolina has a reputation as one of the most friendly veteran states in the country. And now I've heard other states make that same claim, but I definitely believe you have a compelling case. And I believe that reputation and that relationship with veterans is a win-win scenario. There is a good reason more than 380,000 veterans choose to live across your 46 counties. It's a culture, one that you have helped create. You exempt military pensions, Guard and Reserve drill pay, and combat income from your state taxes. You offer significant property tax relief to disabled veterans and award veterans preference in your state employment. You never forget the sacrifice of our veterans. You fund 6 state-of-the-art nursing homes, including your newest, Patriots Village, which I had the honor of touring yesterday. South Carolina has always honored the service of veterans, regardless of whether they are a teenager training today at Fort Jackson or a soldier who served long before any of us were born. Just last month, you held a ceremony at the Lawrence County Council Chambers in honor of a 103-year-old life member of the American Legion Post 25, Sergeant Paul Odell of the United States Army 982nd Ordnance Depot Company supplied small arms and equipment while serving in England in preparation for the D-Day invasion 82 years ago. He would later serve in Paris after the Germans surrendered. And as he was being awarded his well-deserved French Legion of Honor in Lawrence on January 27th, Sergeant Odell told the local Fox news station, quote, "Now I'm serving my Lord. I'm serving him. I've been serving. We are to serve others. That's what it's all about," unquote. Service to others is what our military is all about. And while Tip O'Neill famously said, "All politics is local," the most effective service that we find is on the community level. This legislature is to be commended for enabling the South Carolina Department of Veteran Affairs to formally partner with your county VA offices in evaluating best practices in office operations. While I'm a proud member of the American Legion's record and our influence on national legislation, I am also well aware that it is through our 12,000 local posts and 55 departments that we have our greatest impact. As veterans age and we see the impact of decades of deployments related to the global war on terrorism and other engagements, and as we see the harm caused by burn pits and other toxins, and as we see veterans taking their own lives at a rate that is 50% higher than non-veterans, we understand that it requires resources to stop these tragic outcomes. I know the South Carolina Senate is trying to address staffing issues in your county VA offices, and that at least 20 of these offices have 2 or less employees. To keep up with the demand, many county VA officers must travel great distances to other counties and areas outside their normal region. This can be costly and less effective. House Bill 3510, passed by this House during the last session, helps address that problem. The American Legion welcomes any additional support that this body can provide for these hardworking servants of the community. The General Assembly has allowed for greater accountability of state veterans' homes when you passed Senate Bill 218, which transferred these vital services to the South Carolina Department of Veteran Affairs, an agency that was created by veterans for veterans. Another point of pride for the Palmetto State is your Military Enhancement Fund grant program. This program has provided millions of dollars in grants benefiting service members and veterans in Beaufort, Richland, Aiken, Berkeley, Charleston, and Sumter counties. Now, you heard me mention the veteran suicide rate. VA estimates that the rate is 17 a day, and I've seen studies saying it could be high as 44. And you know, as legislators, how important it is to have accurate data when finding solutions. Sometimes an intentional death, especially if it is from an overdose or traffic-related, is hard to determine. Other times, a person's background is unknown. We welcome measures that you are considering to improve coordination with your county coroners in collaboration with the veterans community to help identify and mitigate these tragedies. Now, I understand that this assembly is also working to protect South Carolina veterans from falling victim to unaccredited claims representatives. For many years, the American Legion has been working with Congress to ban the predatory practices of unqualified firms that charge outrageous fees to provide services that most veteran service organizations provide for free. During calendar year 2025, the American Legion credited service officers were able to obtain more than, get this, $29.5 billion in benefits for veterans in submitting their claims or appeals. We did this without charging a single penny. And we did this representing all veterans, not just American Legion members, because we serve all veterans. We take no issue with veterans choosing, if they so choose, to pay a private firm to manage the appeal if they want. But VA accreditation and criminal penalties to bad actors are the best way to keep out malevolent sharks that do not represent the best interests of the veteran. Now, in closing, as America celebrates its 250th birthday this year, it is important that we remember our nation's first veterans, those who fought in our war for independence. South Carolina was the scene of over 200 Revolutionary War battles and engagements. Recording history and the education of future generations are the most tangible methods to keep the legacies of our long-departed veterans alive. We salute this state's efforts to preserve such key sites as battlefields of Cowpens, Camden, Kings Mountain, and Fort Moultrie, just to name a few. You simply cannot celebrate a great nation without remembering its greatest heroes, and South Carolina has produced them in abundance. Now, if you allow me to call a moment to call in this platform two members of this distinguished body who have proven that they are not only great lawmakers, but they are effective advocates for those who have served. They have been designated by the American Legion Department of South Carolina as outstanding members of the legislature for 2026. They are both veterans, champions for those in uniform, and faithful friends of the American Legion. And yes, I am proud to call them Legionnaires. Senator Jeff Zell and Representative Cody Mitchell, would you please join me? All right, this award reads the American Legion Department of South Carolina Special Legislative Award presented to Senator Jeff Zell in recognition and appreciation for his many years of outstanding service to his community, state, and nation, dated February 25th, 2026. Senator, thank you. Awesome. Thank you, Senator. Appreciate it. Next, the American Legion Department of South Carolina Special Legislative Award presented to Representative Cody Mitchell in recognition of and appreciation for his many years of outstanding service to his community, state, and nation, dated February 25th, 2026. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Congratulations, Senator Zell and Representative Mitchell. We appreciate all that you do on behalf of veterans in this great state. Thank you so very much for allowing me to be here today in the South Carolina legislature. God bless each and every one of you. God bless the troops of our great country, and God bless our country, the United States of America. Thank you.